Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson-Milton.
My favorite question to ask, but what would you say is the difference between working in your business versus working on your business?
Oh my goodness, it's a mindset for sure. And prior to working with the council and working with you, I don't even know that I placed as much emphasis and importance on it. But now I understand the importance of working on the business, which is that business development, strategic planning, taking that 30,000 foot view, every 6 months and definitely at least once a year to find out what's working well, what's not, pivoting if there's a need to pivot, adding new verticals. Like that's working on the business. Working in the business is the day-to-day operations.
Putting out fires in the day-to-day, responding to emails, that type of thing. And working on the business is setting a strategy based on, what's going on in your various industries. What are the trends, and making sure that you are doing the steps to stay in front of those trends.
As you grow and as you evolve, I'd say there are a couple of things to that. One is, if you are in the weeds every single day, and quite frankly, when you start a business, there's not a lot of, it's hard not to be, right? Because you're probably small when you start. There are probably not enough resources for the things that you have to do. That's normal. But as you grow and as you evolve, you start to understand that if your view is here, then you cannot gain the perspective to see all of the interrelationships and all of the opportunities and all of the strategic maneuvers that you should be doing in order to take grow your business in step functions as opposed to incremental.
Well, working in the business is doing everything. You wear all the many hats. Working on the business is finding out what hat you like and then being able to put in processes, systems, people that will help complement your skills.
Chasing the dollars, trying to make sure payroll is done. You have enough work to cover payroll and $2 or $3 in your pocket. The next thing you know, year after year, you're in a rat race. You've never been trained to develop your business or to take it to another level.
As long as I can focus on where we are going, because no one else is doing that in the company, except for me. So if I can see, here's where we're going, and I need all 10 of y'all to come with me, then if we all do that together, then the business grows because everyone is focused on the thing they're supposed to be focused on.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of business owners, particularly when you're just getting started, you're wearing multiple hats. I tell people all the time, I was always letter E, all of the above, when we used to fill in those multiple choice tests. And even now, I still do a lot, but what is really great is that right now I'm in Richmond. My team back in Raleigh is handling everything. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to check that email because I know that they can take on whatever is being thrown at them.
Take time to slow down in order to speed up. Invest in CVM SDC developmental programs each year to grow your business. Working in equals maintaining. Working on equals growth. Visit cvmsdc.org for more information on our development programs. Email us at info@cvmsdc.org.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning special that would come on, and I was there with Geese and Tex and Meadowlark Lemon. Remember the show? Well, I had a great time. And I have to say a huge, huge thank you to all my fans out there. Thank you for all the years of support. I went on from the entertainment industry. I started getting into producing and directing. And now, hey, here I am. I'm a studio executive here in Burbank, California at 2526 Studios. I have to say, it's been pretty good, but the best is yet to come. Please stay encouraged. Keep reaching for your dreams and never forget that genius is common. Remember that. Genius is common. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter how tough the road may get, keep striving. Keep reaching for your dreams. And always know that you are worth it. Everything that you put into yourself, everything good that you pour into your life, you are worth it. And when the times get tough, when things don't go exactly right, it's okay. Dust your shoulders off. Stand up strong. And remember, genius is common.
Why do I do what I do? You know, my life coach asked me that a few years ago. And she said, Tony, what's your why? And I told her, and she said, girl, you've already accomplished that. Perhaps you need a new why.
Hi, Tony Harris, Amy Hoydu with Say It Said Marketing, one of your students. And just wanted to say thank you, Tony Harris, for spending so much time with me and giving me that boost in my business that I so drastically needed.
My why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource. I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. That's what I do best.
So, first thing you got to do is show up. And speaking is a way to magnetically attract your ideal client to you. How many of you use social media that way? Absolutely, and this is how you look to the world. Drastic steps are the steps that are needed to be successful. And my business is drastic denotes a mindset. Getting out of your comfort zone. Doing something that you don't necessarily feel comfortable doing, want to do, but you know it's a necessary step to be successful in your business.
I get the most satisfaction when I see my connections flourishing into relationships long after I am gone.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Augustine with Media Jasmine, and I've joined several networking and referral groups in the area. And Network in Action Northeast Houston with Tony Harris Taylor is one of the best organizations that I've joined.
I love that piece of what I do, and it is what fuels my fire. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, And there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
Infection control and nursing for over 30 years. It is truly my passion. I love being able to see people who are in need go into a facility and get quality care, have quality outcomes, and don't leave with anything they didn't come in with. Infection control experts is really about having the ability to partner with facilities, partner with organizations who may not have the resources to be able to make sure their residents or patients, depending on the setting, get the best care that they have. What we're finding a lot of times is a lot of people are wearing many different hats. And staffing is hard right now. And COVID did a whopper on all of healthcare, and everyone is hurting. So I come in, and our organization, we're here to be that support system for them, to provide that extra pair of hands, the innovation that they need for efficiencies, things that are going to make the difference in what happens. And we don't come in when the surveyors come in. What differentiates us is we're their partner. So when you get us, but we're helping you proactively monitor, proactively engage, proactively look at real-time information so that we can make the difference ahead of time.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish, Goldie, dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hopton got the love and care they deserve. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
Every speaker has a moment where their words can spark inspiration, drive change, and transform lives. But what happens after the applause fades? With 5-star BDM, your voice doesn't have to fade. We transform your live session into a professional ebook. Imagine your session becoming a permanent interactive asset, reaching new audiences across the globe. like Grant McGough and Dr. Eric Kelly III, whose session on the Mindset Revolution continues to inspire thousands through their custom ebook. Your ideas can become a lasting impact. Turn your session into an ebook that not only tells your story but expands your reach, builds your brand, and engages your audience. With embedded videos, custom graphics, and a stunning flipbook or PDF format, your message will inspire long after the event is over. And for a limited time only during the Black Business Olympics, get your custom ebook today. This is your chance to transform your message into something truly unforgettable at an unbeatable price. Your package includes a professionally designed ebook, a flipbook or PDF, embedded video of your session, and custom graphics. Everything you need to showcase your message in a way that lasts. With 5-star BDM, your session becomes more than a moment. It becomes an opportunity for growth, greater visibility, and lasting impact. See your influence multiply as your message reaches new clients, partnerships, and platforms. Ready to turn your ideas into a global movement? Visit 5starbdm.com to secure your custom ebook today. Your audience is ready to listen.
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius is coming.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
Hey, welcome to Be the Victor Speaker Academy, where we do everything from video courses to our monthly membership. We got some personalized coaching if you're looking to start getting paid. I see a lot of you out there that are published authors or you're thought leaders and podcasters, but you're not getting paid to speak. This Be the Victor Speaker Academy is all about you. It's to help you monetize your expertise, start getting paid from school districts, colleges, and other event planners that are out there looking for your expertise. So stick around with us, watch the videos, download the downloadable documents, and check out what we got next in store for you.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Jamila Burrell. I am your business moderator for this session on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Our first speaker is Dr. Eric Kelly III. Dr. Eric Kelly III is a visionary artist and entrepreneur whose work transcends the traditional boundaries of abstract expressionism, blending art, business, and cultural commentary in a way that is both profound and transformative. Known for his bold use of color, emotive lines, and dynamic composition, Kelly has established himself not only as a leading figure in the contemporary art world, but also as a powerful thought leader and business innovation. I present to you Dr. Eric Kelly III. It's a good day to take some notes. Make sure you have your pen and your paper ready because he is going to give us some good nuggets on today.
Only I can be in the background rushing to give you what you need this morning. First of all, I'd like to say to you, Jamila, thank you so very much for your presence and for your company. You know, as we continue to build the Black Business Network, I wanted to take some time out this morning to talk about today's theme. Today's theme is a theme where many people in business sometimes takes for granted. And so this morning, I wanted to talk a little bit about advertising, public relations, marketing, sales, branding, and kind of give our audience a way to look at it from today. On yesterday, I talked about, are you ready for the moment? And today I want to talk about, what are you going to do with the moment? You know, it's many times we talk about business, but what truly is the function of business and why we do what we do? And as we get prepared this morning, I want to say to each and every one that is watching us all week, thank you so very much for being a part of this community. You know, this is a community that transcends just talking. It's a community that continues to build on where we're going to go and what we're going to do. So this morning, I want to talk about interest, influence, and AI, the new marketplace for business owners. And as we begin, I want to say good morning to all the innovators, to entrepreneurs, and to the legacy builders, and to all of the students out there. We want to change how you see Black business. Business today is not dedicated by who has the loudest voice or the biggest budget. You know, business is dedicated to who can capture interest and turn interest into influence. You know, many times when you look at your feed, you look at what you're doing on social media, and you click on a couple of things that you're interested in, and the following day or later on that evening, it seems that the things that you were interested in are actually following you. You know, it used to be a time where you get all these followers and all these viewers, and then you could hope to get them to spend money with you as a business owner or as an influencer. Well, that's changed. And that's changed to what are people interested in. And so I want you to think about that as I talk today. Attention has become more valuable. You know, it's a valuable currency. Influence has become, you know, more of a multiplier of wealth. You know, and here's the reality. And many of you may not agree, but this is really the reality. Artificial intelligence is now tomorrow's tool. It's here today. You know, many times we think about business and we don't think about the tools. Artificial intelligence is here. The question is, will you use AI or create interest and influence, or will you let others control the conversation while your business remains unseen? The statement is not AI will replace you. The answer is the person who uses AI will replace you. So this morning, I want you to think about how you interact with AI. Are you doing it or are you not doing it? And ask yourself the question, why not? I guess the Thomas Edison and the guys who created electricity was probably asking the same question. Are you going to use it or are you going to allow other people to use it? You know, now, first of all, let's talk about interest. Interest is the new gold. In the old economy, gold and oil drove wealth. I want you to think about that. But today, interest drives wealth. Every click, scroll, and second of attention is gold in the digital economy. If you cannot capture interest, you cannot complete your mission. AI and LLMs, you keep hearing that word, long language models, are not shaping what captures attention. Algorithms analyze data to suggest headlines. And when you're dealing with algorithms that are analyzing the data or analyzing what you're interested in, it predicts what the trend will be. For Black business owners, our culture already drives, global interests. With LLMs, we can amplify it, turn cultural creativity into business visibility. Now, the takeaway is that capture interest, you capture the marketplace. Many of you are in business, and I talk about the mindset, I talk about the mind shift, I talk about mind print. And when I talk about these things, I am talking about what is your interest. When you use the word influence, what does influence do? Influence creates profit. Interest without influence is empty. Influence means people don't just see you, they trust you. They draft content, courts in the voice across social media. That's what LLMs do. That's what ChatGPT does. ChatGPT does. That's what Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, all of these LLMs, they draft or they craft information for your voice across social media. And the last I checked, social media is free. And for those of you who think social media is going to be around here forever, there's going to be a time where social media, the way that we use it today, is going to disappear. Are you ready? These LLMs, they analyze what resonates with your audience. Now, you may say, well, I know what my audience wants. Do you really? Have you taken the time out to really analyze what your audience wants? Well, you have a new tool. You have not just one, but many new tools that will help you with that. The LLMs will personalize your message to your current customer groups. When's the last time that you asked ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, who is your target audience as it relates to what your business is? Influence is not just AI, it's authenticity. AI gives you a scale, but the story gives you power. I want you to think about what I said. AI gives you scale, but your story gives you power. Influence is where trust becomes profit. When you think about your business, you have to ask yourself that question. What is the trust? If you have one of these, you have a computer in your hand more powerful than the computer that was in the hand of the president in 1989. So think about that for a minute. Now, I keep saying LLMs. Okay. Let's just talk about that for a moment, because maybe somebody out there is thinking, what does LLM mean? And this morning, because today's message is about advertising, public relations, marketing, sales, branding, merchandising. Why is it important to talk about the LLM? Now, what does those acronyms mean? Large language models. Large language models are an advanced AI system trained on massive amounts of text. They understand language, context, and tone. They understand speech patterns. They understand information. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Gronk. These are all LLMs. Now, let me tell you what they do for you, because it's all right to talk about what it is, but the question that you probably have is, what does the ChatGPT do for you? What does the Perplexity do for you? Well, one thing that they do, they create content. They draft press releases, add copy for emails, product descriptions. They give you more idea generation, like creating market campaigns, slogans, promotional strategies. They also are able to give you more customer engagement with chatbots to answer questions instantly. They analyze trends, summarize market data, and highlight opportunities. Now, how many people do you need in your company to do all the things that I just said? To create content, to help you with idea generation, to do customer engagement when you're working with a client, to analyze trends. How many people do you need to do that? That's the part that many people are not paying attention to. How many people do you need? You know, the ChatGPTs, the Perplexities, the DeepSeeks, they allow you to produce more content consistently, faster. They help you to stay in front of your clients daily. They help you to create personalized messages that speak directly to your audience. They give you the same communication power as a billion-dollar company. Now, when you think about that for a moment, the question still becomes, how many people do you need on your staff for that? With these LLMs, you can utilize them to be your staff. Let's talk about PR and AI for a minute. Public relations is about shaping your perception. It's about how do people see you? What public relations really is about, the trust factor. It's that information that you get about the company before you even see the company. You know, your ChatGPT or your LLM can draft that press release in seconds. They can scan headlines online and suggest the best timing for you to release that story. Think about that for a moment. They can generate tailored pitches for journalists, podcasters, influencers. Your brand earns and deserves visibility without hiring a gigantic team to do it. These are the kinds of things people don't think about. You know, advertising. Advertising today is really being powered by AI. If you don't know it, then just think about it for a moment. The new videos that you're seeing, the new ads that you're seeing, many of them are right now being generated by AI. So ask yourself a question. When the movement is AI, when the marketing, your personal company, when you write personalized emails for each customer segment and translate your campaigns to multiple language for global reach, How can you do that without a massive staff? I want you to think about it this morning. Advertising, your marketing, your PR, being done efficiently by a team of agents. As I always say, nothing happens without sales. How can you generate sales leads without great sales scripts? How can you track customer behavior with your CRM? How can you predict the analytics to tell you the best time to close? These are what is going on in the marketplace today. I wanted to talk about that today because it's very important that we understand that when you talk about PR, which is trust, and you talk about advertising is what you want people to think about you. And then when you talk about marketing, which is the gas that goes and pushes your product in front of your correct audience, you have to begin to look at what's out here to help you. What are the tools to help you get where you want to go? Now, merchandising. Merchandising is the experience. Some people would say merchandising is a part of the culture. I always ask the question, what is your business culture? Yesterday, I talked about different areas and different people who should be on your team. Today, I want to talk about, again, how do you get the message out? Now, to summarize, because we're getting closer to the end here, I wanted to summarize by talking about interest plus influence plus AI. What does that do for your company today? If you're not using AI in everything that you're doing, then you're missing the boat. It's like you're on a ship and there's a destination that you want to get to, and you don't have a compass. You don't have a strategy. You don't have a mission, but you want to go where you want to go. That's what it's like not to use AI in today's marketplace. Interest gets attention. Attention is the new, as I've said so many times, attention is the new gold. Influence builds trust, but AI and LLMs, they build both of those. This is the formula for visibility and profit. You know, I want you to use that today as you look at your company. This is more than revolutionary. With LLMs, you don't need a Madison Avenue ad agency. You are the agency. You are the influence. You are the interest. The future is not next year. The future is not tomorrow. The future is today. AI is here today. Those who control interest will control attention. Those who build influence will control markets. Those who harness AI will continue and control the future. So I ask you, when your clients find out the information that they need, as I said earlier on about my company in 1982, when you give the client what they want, they will give you what you want. Today, I want you to think about, or better yet, not think about, I want you to use these massive massive tools that are here to help you. I want you to stand tall, be bold, and capture interest, build influence, and use AI. I wanted to take a moment to talk about that because many times we don't talk about what's really needed for advancement. I want you to think about and go out today and just test yourself. Type in Gemini, type in Claude, type in Perplexity, type in ChatGPT. And I want you to invest in these large language models because the future of today is now. I want to end with this. For those who don't know, I want to say a little bit about some of the tools. ChatGPT from OpenAI is one of the most widely used AI assistants for writing, research, and content creation. Claude from Anthropic is designed to be safer and more conversational and capable of drafting and summarizing. It summarizes and is good for brainstorming and ideas with you. Now, Perplexity is an AI-powered search and research tool that combines not only conversational answers with verified sources. I want you to hear that, with verified sources. It's perfect for fact-checking and visibility. Gemini, which is formerly, it was called Bard at one time, from Google, is built in to a search and productivity tool to help with marketing and copywriting. Copilot from Microsoft integrates into Word, Excel, Outlook, helping you to create proposals and presentations. Now, these aren't science fiction ideas. They are tools you can use today to scale your business, to reach more clients, and to strengthen your influence. So here's how they help to increase visibility and interest. Content creation, customer connection, research and strategy, personalization. That's what we're talking about this morning. How do your audience see you? For business owners, these tools knock down the gatekeepers. Again, you don't need a giant agency. What you need is to utilize the tools that will help you to get to your goals. And many of us have to ask the question, do we really want to get to our goals? Or do we want to simply stay in that water of the unknown? This morning, I wanted to take the time out to talk about today's theme. And today's theme is about, again, today's theme is about advertising, public relations, and marketing. And as we say, we have business owners from all over the globe. We have business owners who are going to share with you today the greatness of your greatness and utilizing long language models will help you to attract more attention, to be more flexible. But more importantly, it will help you to compete on a global marketplace.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly, for your expertise on today. I took a lot of notes. Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, Pamela. How you doing? You're muted. You are muted.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
Well, you've talked to Jamila already?
I am Black Business.
Okay, so
from the moment I wake
until
the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. And one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
That's what we're here to do this morning.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business.
That is absolutely right. Okay, I'm going to send you in. What time is it there in Singapore?
I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest
that's a
business
good deal.
showcases in the history of Black America.
Oh, that's right.
In North Carolina.
All right.
Dr.
Thank you so
Eric
very much.
Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Hey, man, you all right?
Are you a Black entrepreneur with a vision for global success? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing the Black Business Network, BBN, one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of the world. The only 24/7 global multimedia ecosystem dedicated to connecting and promoting Black entrepreneurs, brands, and businesses globally. With BBN, you can sell your business now 24 hours a day to over 200 countries. Reach a global audience in real time, build trust, and generate leads like never before. Access a world of opportunity with our live streaming and replay platform, featuring on-demand content, documentaries, and exclusive interviews. Get your exclusive, one-of-a-kind Black Business magazine covers that feature you and your amazing business today. And tap into our Black Business Global Chamber of Commerce, where your voice will be heard globally with over 1 million business owners. Learn the insights and strategies that Black entrepreneurs are using to grow today. Power your business with the Black Business Black Credit and Debit Card. Get cashback, access microloans, and build your business by doing business with Black businesses worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the Black Business World Report, our yearly intelligence magazine, providing industry trends, government programs, funding alerts, and so much more. BBN is more than just a network. It's a revolution. It's a global movement, uniting Black entrepreneurs from over 200 countries to share knowledge, build relationships, and create economic empowerment. And for corporations, BBN offers a unique opportunity to demonstrate your commitment to diversity and inclusion and access. Submit your corporate commercial today. Sponsor BBN. Reach a targeted audience and support the growth of Black-owned businesses. Our Black Business Ambassador program provides support and detailed information on all activities. From onboarding to mastermind think tasks, they cover it all. Whether you're looking to expand your business or your viewers, BBN brings together the tools, talent, and technology needed to grow Black-owned businesses worldwide. It's where we speak, sell, connect, and rise. Live and on demand. Join the Black Business Network today. Visit bxtv.org to learn more and unlock your global potential, where business is broadcast live, where the future is today. Call 919-308-9090 for your Black Business Fireside Chat today as we showcase your...
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090.
Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson-Milton.
My favorite question to ask, but what would you say is the difference between working in your business versus working on your business?
Oh my goodness, it's a mindset for sure. And prior to working with the council and working with you, I don't even know that I placed as much emphasis and importance on it. But now I understand the importance of working on the business, which is that business development, strategic planning, taking that 30,000 foot view, every 6 months and definitely at least once a year to find out what's working well, what's not, pivoting if there's a need to pivot, adding new verticals, Like that's working on the business. Working in the business is the day-to-day operations.
Right. Putting out fires in the day-to-day, responding to emails, that type of thing. And working on the business is setting a strategy based on, what's going on in your various industries. What are the trends, and making sure that you are doing the steps to stay in front of those trends.
As you grow and as you evolve, I'd say there are a couple of things to that. One is, if you are in the weeds every single day, and quite frankly, when you start a business, there's not a lot of, it's hard not to be, right?
Mhm.
Because you're probably small when you start. There are probably not enough resources for the things that you have to do. That's normal. But as you grow and as you evolve, you start to understand that if your view is here, then you cannot gain the perspective to see all of the interrelationships and all of the opportunities and all of the strategic maneuvers that you should be doing in order to grow your business in step functions as opposed to incremental.
Well, working in the business is doing everything. You wear all the many hats. Working on the business is finding out what hat you like and then being able to put in processes, systems, people that will help complement your skills.
Chasing the dollars, trying to make sure payroll is done. You have enough work to cover payroll and $2 or $3 in your pocket. The next thing you know, year after year, you're in a rat race. You never been trained to develop your business or to take it to another level.
As long as I can focus on where we are going, because no one else is doing that in the company, except for me. So if I can see, here's where we're going, and I need all 10 of y'all to come with me, then if we all do that together, then the business grows because everyone is focused on the thing they're supposed to be focused on.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of business owners, particularly when you're just getting started, you're wearing multiple hats. I tell people all the time, I was always letter E, all of the above, when we used to fill in those multiple choice tests. And even now, I still do a lot, but what is really great is that right now I'm in Richmond. My team back in Raleigh is handling everything. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to check that email because I know that they can take on whatever is being thrown at them.
Take time to slow down in order to speed up. Invest in CVM SDC developmental programs each year to grow your business. Working in equals maintaining. Working on equals growth. Visit cvmsdc.org for more information on our development programs. Email us at info@cvmsdc.org.
How hard is it to land on the front cover of a top-tier global publication? The answer may surprise you. If you are a business owner, industry leader, speaker, author, or coach, this is your opportunity to get featured in a publication that reaches worldwide. We want to be able to tell your story, showcase your brand. We have made it so easy. All you have to do is answer a few questions and tell us a little bit about your business, and we'll take care of the rest. But why get featured? 1, it gives you massive exposure to a global audience. 2, it helps to boost your credibility and your authority in your industry. And 3, it helps you to expand your network and unlock opportunities. Now, right now, we are offering a special limited time offer. You can be seen by over 10,000 viewers and readerships each month. So don't wait. This is your time to elevate your business and get featured. All you have to do is click the link below and get started today.
You are a Black-owned business and you're looking for new ways to expand your reach. Or you're a creative and you have an amazing story that needs to be told, seen, and heard. Well, at Fave Unite TV, we're streaming the diverse and authentic narratives of Black American culture. At Fave Unite TV, you have access to product placement, feedback loops, promotional spotlights, and other ways to showcase your brand. And we have fans all around the world that can't wait to see what you're up to. So come to Fave Unite TV because we are showcasing the culture 24/7 with Black stories and Black storytellers. Subscribe to FaveUniteTV.com today and For more information, email us at info@faveunitetv.com or call our hotline at 816-819-9939. Fave Unite TV, one of the largest platforms showcasing Black American content in the world.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Jamila Burrell. I am your business moderator for this session on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. We will be hosting Ms. Pamela Wigglesworth. Pamela Wigglesworth is an American, Singapore-based international speaker, high-performance presentation consultant, corporate facilitator, and founder of Experiential Hands-On Learning. With over 28 years of business experience, she specializes in empowering senior leaders, executives, and investment professionals. She transformed those struggling with lackluster pitch presentations into captivating, persuasive presenters. Her global perspective, shaped by living in 5 countries and working across 13, provides unique insights into pitching challenges faced by individuals addressing stakeholders, investors, and board of directors. I present to you Ms. Pamela Wigglesworth.
Good morning, or I should say good morning, good evening, or good afternoon from wherever you might be dialing in from today. So good morning, Jamila. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's Tuesday evening here in Singapore. It's nice and quiet. We don't have a thunderstorm going, so knock wood. Hopefully it'll stay nice and quiet and everybody will be able to hear me okay.
Awesome. I just wanted to let everyone know that genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Fantastic. So again, let me take a moment to welcome you all for today's presentation. But before I do that, I just want once again, thank Jamila for the introduction. And I also want to thank Dr. Madeline Lewis for the introduction and letting me know about Black Business Olympics. And more importantly, I want to thank and acknowledge Dr. Eric Kelly III for this opportunity. I absolutely love this platform, what you're doing, the opportunity to allow business owners, Black business owners, to share their knowledge and their expertise so that we all grow together. And I think it's fantastic, especially what the platform is doing in terms of supporting young people, those that are in high school and in college. Again, I think it's a fantastic platform, and I'm privileged and honored to be here today. And so I'm going to take some time today to share with you the ABCs of how do we go about building a business presentation. But there's one more person I need to acknowledge before I get started, and that's you. Because you chose to be here today, even if it's listening to a replay, you're choosing to give your time to learn something new that's going to help elevate your business. I have a friend who likes to say, learning is earning. And I couldn't agree with him more. So the more we learn, the better that we can present ourselves and our businesses. So with that, let me dive in. First of all, if you haven't already done so, I'd love for you to grab a piece of paper and pen. Now that's kind of going old school. If you've got a computer, that's fine too. If you like to take notes that way too. And if you don't have paper and pen, that's okay too, because we live in a world where you can watch the replay. In fact, I want to encourage you to listen to the replay of this presentation several times, because there's likely to be some gold nuggets that you're going to pick up each time you listen to it. Okay, so listen today. If you don't want to write notes, come back, take notes a little bit later on. But I'm going to give you some gold nuggets that if you just apply, say 5 or 6 of them, your business is going to elevate in a big way. So you already heard, I am Pamela Wigglesworth. Just for clarification, I need to let you know, I'm not a character out of Harry Potter. And no, I didn't go to Hogwarts. I'm actually married to a British man, and I took on his name. And so I went from being a Kennedy to becoming a Wigglesworth. Yes, it's a mouthful. And Jamila, I got to give you credit. You got it right. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. In my work with clients, I do work internationally, and my goal is to work with CEOs, CFOs, managing directors, managing partners, senior executives to help them to elevate their presentation. Now, the one thing I want to point out between these individuals and yourself, because we're all the same, is that we need to be aware that soft skill training, such as presentation performance, is not just a nice to have. It truly is a must-have. And if we don't invest in ourselves and our time to really become effective effective communicators, then, it's going to impact our business. Now, something that you don't know about me that's not in my bio is that years ago, probably I'm going to say almost 15 years ago, I actually had a store here in Singapore. And I actually got hit by the first Asian financial crises. And that meant that people were not shopping. I had a retail store where I sold women's clothing that focused on basically full figure gals like myself, women who had hips, 2-digit sizes, not just a 1-digit size. But when 1999 happened, business just shut down. People weren't shopping, tourists weren't coming to Singapore, locals weren't buying, and my main clientele actually simply evaporated because a lot of them were expats and they were being repatriated. And so the business literally was dying. And I had no choice but to eventually close my store. But it wasn't as simple as closing the store. It was the fact that I had to pay to get out of my lease. And that was the equivalent of writing a check to the landlord for $40,000 US. $40,000 out of the savings of my husband and I to go toward a failed business. Yeah, it was painful. And so I allowed myself about 2 weeks to have a pity party and feel sorry for myself and then regroup. And I realized what was lacking was that I needed to have a stronger understanding of marketing, and I had to be better at communicating the value proposition of my business. And so I knew there would be another business that would follow that. And I needed to make sure that I would be able to succeed, that I would not have to run the risk of writing another check to somebody for a business that was not doing well. So fast forward to today, I'm now a communication consultant. I dug in, learned as much as I possibly could, loved it so much. People started to come and ask, why aren't you sharing that with other people? Why can you come and teach my people how to do this and how to do that? And so becoming a professional speaker and receiving the CSP in 2016, I now work with high net worth individuals to help them be better at communicating. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today, the same processes and techniques that I do when I work with the C-suite environment. Okay, so before I really get into the nuts and bolts of how do we build a presentation, what are the ABCs around that, there are 3 things that I want you to consider before you even sit down to write your presentation. Okay, the first one is that there's this myth around preparation that I simply don't have the time to prepare for a presentation. I don't need to prepare because I know my content. I get it. Yes, you might know your content like the back of your hand, but people feel that they can just show up to a meeting and wing it. To me, that is a recipe for disaster. It means your presentation is unstructured, you have no direction, and you're most likely to ramble on and on. So if that sounds like you or somebody you know, make today the day that you stop rambling, that you stop winging it. Think of it this way. You wouldn't want your dentist to just wing it, correct? So why should you do that to your prospects or to your clients? So as of today, no more winging it. The second thing I want to share with you is that you need to understand that there is a difference between reporting and giving a presentation. Now, both of them use data and share data and information, but a report is simply just sharing that data, that information. Presentation, on the other hand, is about creating an experience around that presentation, around that data. So we need to stop and think, what experience, what do I want my audience to think or feel when I'm giving this information? How do I get them engaged in what I have to say? What colors will I use? What fonts will I use? What type of imagery or props will I use to get them engaged? That's what we are looking for to craft a presentation, is what's the experience around the presentation. And the third thing we want to look at is 3 things in terms of a presentation. We want your presentation to be memorable, we want it to be repeatable, and we want it to be referable. So we want it to be memorable, but in a good way, not because we have a presentation that's loaded with lots of text and a small font size that people can't even read. Not that kind of memorable. We want it to be engaging. We want them to be talking about your presentation in the hallways once you're done. And we want it to be repeatable. That means we need to make sure that you're articulating your presentation, you're speaking about it in such a way that, say, maybe a 12-year-old might understand it. Yes, that's right. I said a 12-year-old. Too many people want to use a lot of big words or jargon, and they simply don't know what the person on the receiving end simply doesn't understand what you're saying. So we want to make sure you're articulating it in a way that anybody can then repeat it. And then the third step, make it referable. So that means if I am giving a great presentation and maybe the person I'm speaking to, they might have somebody who's also in need of your services. And if they can clearly share what you shared with them, then it is then referable. Okay, so let me say that again, those 3 things. We want it to be memorable, we want it to be repeatable, and referable. Those 3 things. Okay, so that's laying the base. Now what I want to do is I want to get into more of the nuts and bolts of the presentation, as it were. If you think about an architect, he or she or they will start with a blueprint. And in that blueprint, they are figuring out who's likely to buy this house, who's the homeowner, what are the people going to be like that's likely to move into this home. And just as an architect has to think about who the homeowner is going to be, the people living there, we as people building a business presentation must also think about the people. We must also think about the audience. So we're going to start there, is with the audience. And I'm going to cover 3 different topics: audience, the structure of the presentation, and also persuasion. Okay, so let's dive into the audience, because everything starts with the audience. Now, when you sit down to craft a presentation, I want to ask you this question. You answer this to yourself. What's the first question you ask yourself when you've been given the challenge or the opportunity to make a presentation? What's the first question that comes to mind? Most people are going to respond with, what's the objective? Say to this to my audience. Now let's clarify something when we talk about the audience. The audience can be 5 people, 10 people, 1,000 people. It can also be 1 person. So when we refer to the audience, as I go through the presentation, it can mean any of these numbers, okay? So it could be an audience of 1 or an audience of 20. All right, so we need to think about the question we need to ask is not necessarily what do we want to say to them. The question you should be asking, and I want you to write this down if you are in a position to write or type this, the question is, what decision does my audience need to make? Let me say that again. What decision does my audience need to make? That's where the presentation starts. Now, recently I was giving an in-house training, and we were just at the stage where we were talking about the audience. And I was chatting with a private equity group, and they had just recently given their international presentation to their international team. And I asked them the same question. What's the first thing you ask? And when I said to them that the question is actually, what decision does my audience need to make? I saw so many jaws drop open. There were 2 or 3 of them that were just looking at each other like, did that just happen? Did she just say what she said? And finally, one young lady was brave enough to say, oh my goodness, we always start with, what do we want to say to them? It never occurred to us to ask the audience what we want from them, or to figure out what decision we wanted them to make, or what action we wanted them to take. They were absolutely floored. And so I want you to pause and think about it, because that's where the presentation starts. It doesn't start with, what do I want to say to them? We start there and we reverse engineer that question. Okay. So first question, what decision does my audience need to make? The second thing that we need to think about when we're talking about the audience is, what's the format that we're going to be delivering this presentation? Will it be ballroom presentation, or will it be a conference room presentation? Now, they're both equally as they sound. The ballroom presentation obviously is conducted in a large room, large audience. And when we have slides for that type of presentation, they tend to be a lot of imagery and very few words. On the other hand, and I should mention that that type of presentation is usually informative, and it's also motivational. On the other hand, we have conference presentations or meeting presentations. In that case, we're usually looking to get buy-in with our message. We might have more detailed slides, so a little bit more information on there. And we might have an appendix that will go along with that. But the goal is usually to get buy-in at the end of that particular meeting. Okay, so what is it? Ballroom, or will it be a conference setting? And then the last things we need to ask ourselves are questions such as, what is it that my audience already knows? And we need to be clear about that because we don't want to show up and deliver information that they've already heard. They don't come to hear something that they've already heard. They're looking for new information. So we need to ask ourselves a couple things. What is my objective? Is it to inform? Is it to entertain? Is it to motivate? Or is it to inspire? Or again, is it entertainment? Now, think about it. We go to YouTube because we want to be entertained. We want to see something, the motion pictures of whatever is being shown on YouTube. Likewise, people also want to be entertained. So even though we need to give information and we need to entertain, we need to combine the two. So people are looking for infotainment, or if we're looking to educate, they're looking for edutainment. So before you even sit down to craft the message, we also have to ask ourselves, what's the goal here? What am I trying to achieve? So we've asked, what do they already know? And then we also want to say, what are the likely responses that the people in the audience are likely to have based on what I'm sharing? It could be positive and it could be negative. We need to be ready for both. And then the last thing we need to ask ourselves is what I'm sharing in their best interest? Am I giving them what they need to make that decision? This is why we don't want to take the chance of just winging it, because we're likely to miss out the key information that we need to share with our audience. Okay, so let's be clear. What decision we need to make is number one. All right. So now let's move to the bigger portion of building this presentation, and that is structure. Now, it's funny. It's something I look and I go, I see it as obvious, but it's not obvious that we need to have a structure. When I'm working with clients, I hear time and time again, wow, I wish I'd known how to do this sooner. So yes, there is a process to how to lay out your presentation. Now, rather than actually ask you to be visual at the moment, early this morning, I'm actually going to show you a quick little chart so that it'll make it easier for you to follow along when I'm talking about the different elements of structure. Okay, so the first thing is that there are 4 parts to your presentation. There's the intro or introduction. There is the body of the presentation, and then there's the conclusion, and then there's the close. Now, if you do have access to a piece of paper, or if you're watching this and you've got your phone handy, I'm just going to leave it up there so you can get a quick snapshot. This is just to give you an idea of what the format looks like if you were to write this out on a piece of paper. So if you were looking at this as an A4, which we say in this part of the world, or an 8.5 by 11, you're going to create one rectangle at the top. That's going to represent our introduction. Then you're going to have 3 separate columns. You can put a little box at the top if you'd like. And then below, we would have 2 boxes down here, 2 little rectangles, which would represent the conclusion and the close. Again, this is the full format. This is the intro. This is our body, our conclusion, and our close. Okay, so let's dive into that. The first thing we want to look at is our introduction. What is it that we're sharing with the audience and the journey that we're going to take them on? Now, most people will start their introduction with what we call the WWD, which stands for what we do. This is the typical introduction. It sounds like a person sharing their name, their company, and their title. And then they might immediately dive into the buffet of services that they offer without really even identifying what the audience is looking for. We want you to do something different. Instead of the WWD, we want you to open with impact, with using a hook. Okay? The purpose of a hook is to get them engaged, have them lean in and say, hey, Pam, in their mind, tell me more. When we open a presentation with the WWD, people are sitting there going, so what? So what, Pam? So what that you're, a professional speaker? So what you work for experiential? So what you're, a coach? So what? My introduction that type of introduction does not tell people how I help. And that's the purpose of your introduction, or in this case, for a presentation, we want to create an introduction that creates interest, that gets people to say, I want to learn more. Okay, so let me give you an example of what a hook sounds like. Imagine that you just lost a $50 million deal. Not because your numbers aren't sound, and not because you didn't have a great strategy, but simply because you were unable to effectively communicate your company's value proposition. Now, that might be a scenario that's simply made up, but the reality is really telling. April 2025 study showed that 1 in 5 business leaders admitted to losing a deal due to a lack of poor communication. In fact, it's been identified that it is up to $1.2 trillion in lost business due to poor communication. So today, as we work together, as I present to you what it is, how we can help, I'm going to share with you the tactics, the tricks, and the techniques that you can do to get actionable results so that you will not become part of that $1.2 trillion loss. Okay, so the hook is designed to get your attention. You want people to say, oh, I don't want that to be me. Okay, so we start with a hook. Now, a hook can be a quote, it can be a statistic, it can be a date, it can be a news story, or you can tell a story. You'll notice that I had 2 statistics in there. I said that 1 in 5 business owners have lost a deal. And I've also said that businesses can be, the amount of business lost is up to $1.2 trillion. So you want people to sit up and go, oh, tell me more. Okay, now here's where we're going to go back to our little graph here, our little chart, and we're going to introduce the 3 topics that we're going to share with our audience that's going to take them on a journey so that at the end of the presentation, we get buy-in. We get them saying yes. We get a decision that says, yes, I want to work with you. So for each of those topics, let's go left to right. Topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3. Topic number 1 is we refer to as part of the 3 Ps. In the first P is the problem. The second P is the process that we're going to take our audience through. And the third P is the promise that they will have on the other side of your presentation. Okay, so we have the 3 Ps, the problem, the process, and the promise. Now you'll notice that in my suggestion or giving you the example of the hook, I talked about the problem is 1 in 5 business owners has difficulty or may have lost a deal because of ineffective communication. That's the problem. I've also said that this is a big number, $1.2 trillion because of lost due to ineffective communication. So I'm talking about the problem that's happening in the marketplace. Then I moved in and segued and said, here's how I can help you. In working together with you as a communication coach, I'm going to share with you the tips, tactics, and techniques that you can get actionable results quickly. That's actually the promise. And the promise then is how they're going to be once they've gone through the process. Okay, so we can look at this in a different way. We can think of the problem as the challenge, the issue, or the situation, because it doesn't always have to be negative. People tend to see the problem as negative, but so we want to say, what's the challenge or what's the issue that somebody's going through? And then what's the process? The process is anywhere from what's the system, what's the solution, what's the methodology that you're going to offer. This is your solution that you're going to offer to the client. Know that the solution must always come after you've introduced the problem. Most people go straight from, this is what we do, and they go start offering their buffet of solutions. Okay? Problem must come first. And then we have the last bit is the promise. The promise is the benefit, the results, the transformation that your audience is going to experience as a result of taking on your process. Okay? So we have the 3 P's. We have the problem, we have the process, and then we have the problem. Below that, we have the box is the conclusion. And the conclusion is just nothing more than a simple wrap up of what we've just told them, not a long-winded regurgitation of what we just said, more like a one-liner of here today we've shared with you about how business owners might run into the problem of ineffective communication, the methodology of the persuasive presenter pathway that we can offer you, and how we're going to elevate you so that you can exude executive presence at the end. We're going to that's all our conclusion is going to talk about. Below that, and here's where most people forget or don't add, is the close. Another way of saying close is the call to action or the CTA. Now, the call to action is where we're asking the audience to do something. Most people forget the close. The call to action is something as simple as me saying, okay, so Bob, we've walked you through the problem, the process, and the promise, and you've indicated that you'd like to get a little bit more information. When do you think you'd like to get started with this process? That's the call to action, asking them to make a decision as to when they're going to answer. It could be something as simple as getting the next appointment. So Bob, what's good for you? We said we'd do a follow-up within the next 5 days. I'm looking at my calendar here. I see that I've got Tuesday and Wednesday open. What's good for you? Oh, Wednesday, great. Morning or afternoon? Afternoon, fantastic. This is what I've got in my open. You nail it down, okay? The objective here with the close is really also just to keep the conversation moving forward. But most people get as far as the conclusion. They're rushing through the presentation. They can't wait to finish. So they'll say, okay, now I've told you about the problem. I've told you about the process and the promise. Are there any questions? There being no more questions, thank you very much. And they're off. Okay, sound familiar? Okay, people rushing through and stopping at the conclusion. Do not stop at the conclusion. Stop with the close. All right. So we've got our layout, intro, body, and then we have the conclusion and the close. Let's see what else I want to share with you. So when we talk about opening the topics, I'll get that. I'm tongue tied here. The conclusion and the close. The next thing I really want to talk about is the time. Now, the time that we have to deliver that presentation. And this is something that most people don't even think about, but it's probably the follow-on question that we should be asking after we ask the question, what decision do you need to make, or that the audience needs to make, is we need to be asking, how much time do we have to deliver that presentation? Okay. Now, it is a speaker no-no. It is a presenter no-no to go over time. People get upset. You've got a lot of busy executives today. They don't have time for you to ramble on and on and on. You need to be clear as to what you want to say. So here's how I like to lay out the time for my presentation. The first thing I'm going to ask is, how much time do I have? If I've given an hour, I'm going to knock off 10 minutes automatically, and I'm going to make my presentation 50 minutes. If I have, let's say, 40 minutes, I'm going to knock off 5 minutes. So let's use that as an example. I now have a 40-minute presentation, or I've been allocated 40 minutes. I'm going to knock off 5. So now I have 35 minutes. Now I'm going to take my layout. oops, forgive me, my layout, and I'm going to reverse engineer it. We know we've got our intro, the body, the conclusion, and the close. So of my 35 minutes, I might spend 2 minutes on my introduction. Then I will go down to my conclusion. I only need about a minute. Remember, this is a brief wrap up of what we've just shared. And then I'm going to spend a little bit more time on my CTA, my close. So that might be 2 minutes. So I've got 2, 1, 2. I've just allocated 5 minutes. So that leaves me 30 minutes to allocate into the body of the presentation. So that means I may not necessarily spend this 10 minutes each. I might divide it up. I may need to spend more time talking about the problem. Or maybe I need to spend more time talking about the process, the methodology, my solutions that I can offer. And therefore, there's only maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes that I need to talk about the promise, the benefits, the rewards, the transformation. I reverse engineer everything. Now, once I know how much time I'm going to allocate for each of those topics, then I can determine what will be my talking points. The talking points you might refer to as the bullet points. What are the individual things that I want to talk about under problem, under process, and under promise? Okay. Once we have this, it ensures that we stay on track, that we stay on time, that we express brevity and clarity. This is why you cannot wing it. You're likely to go over time. So it's very important for you to prepare and know how much time you have. And then it allows you that extra 5 minutes at the end or extra 10 minutes if you have Q&A. Okay, so I like to use the line, I want to be respectful of your time. You've given me 40 minutes today. I promise that I'm going to wrap it up before 40 minutes. And, possibly 10 minutes we'll have left over, and we'll leave that open for any questions and answers you might have at the end. Now, if for some reason you're in a meeting and the senior leader has a question, go ahead and answer the senior leader's question. That's why we have that little bit of buffer too, so that you can still come back to the presentation and finish on time. Okay, so it's important that we watch the time and we allocate the time accordingly. The last thing I want to share with you is persuasion. Okay, the elements of persuasion. We always want to do a persuasive presentation, but I want to start by first sharing what is the difference between persuasion and influence. A lot of people like to group them together and use them interchangeably, when in actual fact, they are different. When we think about persuasion, the goal or the intent behind persuasion is to get people to change their attitudes, their beliefs, or their behaviors so that we are able to change their perception around the topic that we're sharing. We want to get their buy-in. So we're looking to change their attitudes, their beliefs, or their behaviors, and ultimately get buy-in on the topic that we're talking about. Influence, on the other hand, is all about doing something similar, but it's over a longer period of time. And it usually comes as a result of the person's credibility and their authority. So it may be the CEO who's speaking to the group, or to the organization, and he might be, or she, or they might be introducing maybe some new software or some new changes that they're going to be implementing in the organization. Something that may not happen right away, but they're just kind of letting people know what's going to be happening so they can influence them over time. Because we know that for many people, they don't like change. So to have somebody come in and say, in the next 6 months, we will be switching over to a new software program. We are going to need X amount of time to roll it out. We'll be doing steps X, Y, and Z. So, and maybe he comes back next month, he'll say, okay, we're at the first stages of this particular program. which we're going to be rolling out, and then he'll keep doing it over time. So influence is over time. Persuasion is a little bit more of an immediate buy-in. Okay. So what I want to share with you is a couple of techniques that I like to use when I'm doing a persuasive presentation. So what we want to do is we want to use language in a way, remember, that changes people's beliefs and behaviors. And once we've mapped out what our talking points are, we now want to go back in and say, how can I clean that up? How can I change that language to be more persuasive? So let me give you some of my favorite persuasive language techniques. Okay. The first one I love is alliteration. Now, alliteration is the repetition of a particular consonant, usually at the start of the word, and it's repeated at least 3 or 4 times. Now, I am a strong believer of keeping it to 3. And the reason for 3 is because the brain likes the number 3. The brain likes odd numbers. So rather than say a 4th word, I'm going to just keep it to like 3. So an example would be, I might say something like, I work with clients to help them deliver messages that are clear, concise, and compelling. So you're hearing the C sound repeated 3 times. The brain loves that. The brain goes, that's a sound bite, clear, concise, and compelling. Earlier today, I said, okay, I'm going to help you develop the tools, the tactics, and the techniques to become an effective communicator. TTT. Now, what I suggest is when you're doing an alliteration is to script out where you're going to use it in your speech and then say it out loud. The reason why I want you to do that is because sometimes there's certain letters that trip you up. For me, it's the letter P. So if I say the p sound in repetition, I'm likely to lose the word. So if it's important for me to say, today we're going to be talking about purpose, preparation, and persuasion, I just slow it down. If I can't get it out, don't say it. S's are another letter that trips me up. So I tend to not even put that into a speech or a talk that I'm using because I know I'm going to mess it up, even if I slow it down. So think about the letters that you want to use. Okay. So, hello, Janelle.
Hello, Miss Pamela.
Hello.
I have so many notes.
Okay.
Can you tell us real quick, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how could they?
They can reach me through my email, which is Pam at experiential, experiential.sg for Singapore, or just visit the website at that same URL. I'd love to connect with you.
I just want to remind you that genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. The expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use Cash App, that's $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors, that's NC-100, Suede Soul, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Margie McLean Foundation and Corporation, Genius is Coming, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Black Business Olympics, Artistic App Design, Banks Law Firm, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
I was born and raised in southeastern West Virginia, the coal fields. My father was an AME minister. For me, I was very fortunate. Even though I grew up in the segregated South, I was surrounded by flourishing Black businesses. Doctors, lawyers, bankers, dentists. They were all there and they were all successful. And I guess that's part of my dream, is to see that success come back. My name is Joseph Simmons, and I am the founder of the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial Training. We have this moment in time where we can change the trajectory of people. And our focus is on women, Black and brown entrepreneurs, and their access to capital, their ability to build thriving businesses, the ability to employ people. There's a study that showed that in those 3 communities, especially Black and brown communities, $1 stays in those communities for 30 minutes. In white community, $1 stays in their communities for 8 hours. So think about it. For you in a Black or brown community to get gas, to get food, to go to a restaurant, you've got to leave your community, take those dollars out of that community and take it to another community that's already being well served. So if we can reverse that, if we can go from 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, that's progress. That's what we need to do. I was with SCORE. And then in May of 2020, of course, the events happened in regards to the murder of George Floyd. The other thing that I was experiencing was the denials of federal funds for small businesses. And it revolved around one thing. These businesses were not being prepared for grants and for government programs. And I came up with the idea for the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial based off those 2 things. Morgan Stanley had a report out in 2020, first quarter, and it talked about there were 3 groups that were massively devastated by COVID-19 on their business. That was 1, women, number 2, Black, and number 3, brown entrepreneurs. The research showed that they had less cash on hand, they had less opportunity to go into a bank and get money, and they were very dependent on family and friends to keep their business up and running. If we can focus on those 3 groups, then we can have a dramatic impact on our communities. Really, the focus is on 3 areas. And those 3 areas are 1, the people, number 2, the courses, and number 3, a support network. Here at CMAT, we will provide you with the fundamentals for generational success. And you will be creating a vibrant community by attending our 5-day immersive training course.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and change makers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak in English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream? Or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaving, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. the Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Jamila Burrell. I am your business moderator for this session on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. We will be having Joseph Simmons. Joseph A. Simmons is a retired pharmaceutical executive located in Orlando, Florida. Joseph started his sales career with Baxter Corporation, Johnson & Johnson, and Sunrise Medical, where he was promoted to an executive level position. He went on to Noel Abbott and Novartis Pharmaceuticals in several management positions. Joseph has founded the Center for Micro Entrepreneur Training, a nonprofit organization, in May 2020. I present to you Joseph Simmons.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready to talk business. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. So yes, let's get into it.
Okay, first question. You spent decades in executive leadership within the pharmaceutical industry. What motivated your pivot into the nonprofit world?
Wow. You know, I was listening to your prior speaker from Singapore, and she mentioned three things: problem, process, and promise. And so I was a mentor. I'd retired in 2010, Jamila, from the pharmaceutical industry, but over the next 10 years, I was in and out. I would be brought back for consultation. But in my final stint with SCORE, it was in May, and I was assigned to look at applications for PPP and EIDL, which was government programs to help small businesses get them through the pandemic. And one of the things that I noticed very readily was at least 6 out of the 10 applications I couldn't move forward because they just didn't have basic things. They weren't licensed, their addresses were incorrect, all the small things that blocked them from getting access to funds. And being my 40-some years in pharma, medical devices, starting in sales, the one thing you always start with, what is the problem? And the problem to me was a lack of fundamentals. They just didn't have fundamentals of the foundation to build their businesses on. And literally, I was up like as usual at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was watching CNBC, and something in the background said less than 10% of the corporations that had committed to funding Black businesses after the murder of George Floyd had not done anything. And so you had two problems. They didn't have access to capital from government funding. They didn't have access to capital from corporations. And I just got out a legal pad and I kind of worked through a workshop of what I thought it would look like. I was very connected in regards to the local Orlando community. And because I was with SCORE, I went to SCORE and I went to Operation Hope in regards to pitching this idea. SCORE decided because of certain situations they couldn't move forward. Operation Hope said, well, we've kind of got our own program, but we'll help you put together a nonprofit. So in November of 2020, I got my letter of determination from the IRS, and that was like a celebration. And like anything else, now you've got the letter, now you've got to put together an organization, you've got to do the cohort. And so I was able to put the board together. And again, one of the value of any business is, or any entrepreneur is, who can you reach out to? What does your Rolodex look like? What does your contact list look like? Who's in your circle that you can call up very quickly and make things happen. And after being in a market space for 40 years, I made a couple of phone calls, but I made a call to one of my close friends. Her name was Karen Smith in Atlanta. And I said, Karen, here's the idea. As a matter of fact, I can visually remember it. Jamila, I was parked in front of a Dunkin' Donuts on Narcoossee Road. And I was sitting in the car and I'm talking to Karen. I'm just kind of telling her, and Karen is very direct. She's very much focused, like, all right, this is the problem. You need to do this, this, and this. She said, Joe, you need to kind of make sure the program looks like this, but you need to have subject matter experts. Here, hold on. And she put me on hold and she called Lionel Mosley in Houston, Texas. And Lionel got on the phone and said, hey, with us, I told him the idea. He said, well, you probably need somebody on technology. Do you have anybody to talk about accounting or business fundamentals? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, hold on. And now I got a three-way call with them. And then he connected me to somebody else. And he connected Jamila within a matter of 8 months, from an idea on a legal pad to in February of 21, I had basically 5 subject matter experts.
Wow.
So that's kind of the genesis of CMET, how it started and how I had the idea.
Wow. You said in a matter of how many minutes?
In a matter of 15 minutes. Karen connected me to Lionel. Lionel connected me to, here we are playing tag now, Jamal. So here it is. I called Karen. Karen called Lionel. Lionel called Austin Tennett. And then he called Michelle Chenault. And so I had sales, technology, business fundamentals for numbers, and I had business planning all within 15 minutes.
It's so important to have the right people around you.
It's, I'm finishing up my 26th cohort, and we were talking about, I forget who the speaker was that said it, but he or she said that your net worth is your network. But go beyond that. Put down on a piece of paper 5 people. And if those 5 people can't elevate you or put you into a room, then you really don't have a good network. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wow. Put down 5 people.
Write down 5 people. And if those 5 people don't have, if they can't elevate you in regards to conversation, in regards to connections, then you really need to change
the right network.
You don't have the right network. And I, as you will probably get into, but one of the things at CMET that we try to do is to make sure we focus on them building a network. And it starts out with them connecting with the subject matter experts, where I have probably 10 to 12 that I utilize on a routine basis. And from there, they are successful entrepreneurs. So they're not people that have failed. They're struggling. These are very successful business owners that have taken their time to give content and connect with these entrepreneurs. So now they can start out with 5 at least, to connect with and build their business on, but also just kind of get used to connections and how to network.
Yes. So that is so important to say, the right network.
Yes.
When you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you need to have expertise around you. You need to have mentors around you. You need to have people that can elevate you. Many times we try to come in the room and we don't know if those people have what we need. But once we find out that they have what we need to capitalize on that network.
And Jamel, I'm smiling because yesterday's ending session, I had Rose Lahish. She's a founder of a tech company out here in Orlando, Florida. And she talks to the entrepreneurs about government contracting. And then after the content was presented, she had to ask me anything. And they were asking her about just that. How did you get your network? How do you do this? And she brought up a very valid point. She said, sometimes we get caught up in relationships is a business relevant relationship. You and I don't really have to be in love with each other or like each other, but there's a commonality of trust where I know if I give you a piece of business, you're going to help me and you're going to fulfill the letter of the law of that contract, and the same on my side. Then we can do business together. And she was talking to them also about too many times starting entrepreneurs get in silos. They think that, okay, I've got to come up with the answer. I've got to come up with the solution. I've got to come up with the strategy. You can't. You're exactly right, Jamal. You've got to have that circle of an accountant, strategic business advisor, a mentor, and probably an attorney. Because of the world that we live in now of business, you really need to have a good attorney, because as you're in contracts, agreements, you want to make sure that it's fair for both sides.
That is so true. So build your network, the right network.
Yes, and be very, unlike your family that you inherit, you have some say in your network, and get into circles of people that are successful. I forget. I think John Hope Bryant said, if you're around people with credit scores of 300, guess what? That's what your credit score is going to be. But if you're around people that have successful businesses, they're doing in excess of $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, the opportunities that they can present to you and the doors that they can open for you can really have a great impact on your business. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy to walk into a room of strangers, but you've got to do that. You've got to get into that room, and you've got to have those conversations. You've got to know how to develop those relationships, how to follow up with people, how to be able to communicate very succinctly and very clearly, who you are and what you do. I think your presenter before said it so well, that's what's in it for them. You've got to be able to communicate, this is how I can help you. Or if you don't know what I do, Jamila, then you can't, if someone calls you up and says, hey, I'm looking for business training. But if you don't know what CMAT does, you're not helping them and you're not helping me.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Good nuggets. Now, how did your corporate experience at companies like Johnson & Johnson and Novartis shape the way you built the Center of the Micro Entrepreneur Training?
Well, as you know, when you either your parents or your grandparents would say this, Joe or Jamila, you need to get a good job with a good company, right? You're shaking your head, right?
Yes.
So my mother was so proud when I worked for Johnson & Johnson, because she knew who Johnson & Johnson was. She could now talk to her friends and family. Oh, my son is working for Johnson & Johnson. So with Johnson & Johnson, you have brand. They have a brand of excellence. I still go back to the Tylenol scare, and I was part of that and how they executed that. So in regards to execution, in regards to discipline, in regards to commitment, those large organizations train you on that. You understand how to be very consistent in your messaging, very consistent in regards to the brand that you want to establish. Also, you have a sight of, this is where I need to be, and this is where I don't want to be. So when you put together an organization, now you say, okay, I want CMET to have a certain brand. When people think of CMET, they don't think of, always give this analogy to the entrepreneurs. We're not Dollar General by no stretch of the imagination. We're Nordstrom's. You're going to get a quality education. You're going to get a solid foundation. The things that we talk about, people, content, and network, we're going to achieve those in spades in regards to that. So that's what I went into when I designed the organizations, that I wanted presenters that exhibited that. The other thing that I do is we start on time, we end on time, and that takes discipline. If I say we start at 8 o'clock, by 8:05, that train has left the station. So people get conditioned because of little things like that we're not starting at 8:30 when I say 8 o'clock. The presenters are on time. They do their content. Their content is very professional, is branded. So you have this, all of a sudden the entrepreneurs have a certain expectation, and people's behaviors are conditioned because of that. I was laughing with our guy that does digital media, And he was saying, well, what time did you finish? I said, I felt bad because we finished at 4:30, but because things popped up. And then I apologized to the entrepreneurs, say, hey, I know we're starting. And they said, no, we want to stay on and talk. We want to talk in among themselves. So that's the network part, that they know that, the commitment that I made to them, I've made. So when I look back at Johnson & Johnson, which is very firm on execution and commitment, when I look at Novartis is a pharmaceutical company, we focused on messaging, frequency, okay, and opportunities. So my message in regards to CMED is very much the same. You're going to get the fundamentals of business over 5 days. You're going to get into a network, and you're going to be around people that are like-minded. Now, when I look at some of the other companies that I work for, they all repeat that mantra. And I think especially as Black businesses, we've got to get into that mindset of excellence and set that standard. I think if we set the standard early and maintain that standard, then I think you'll see sales growth, and I think you'll see growth of those organizations. The organizations that are inconsistent in regards to execution and discipline, they will fail. People will just walk away from you because you can't keep your commitment to what you said you would do.
Mm-hmm. Now, I heard you mention 3 key words: excellence. Mm-hmm. I heard you mention commitment and discipline.
Yeah.
We all need commitment and discipline in order for excellence to come about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's a lost. Unfortunately, we live in an era of social media where we think immediacy can be done over an hour, or with likes, or with I'm going to go on TikTok, I'm going to go on YouTube, and overnight I'm going to be a star. No, you're not. I mean, only 1% of LinkedIn's members post on a consistent basis. Now think about it, Jamila. How many millions of people are on LinkedIn, but only 1% of them post consistently? Everybody wants to start a podcast. One of my presenters told me, because he does a podcast, and he said the percent of podcasts that are successful is less than 1%. Wow. So that shows you execution, discipline, and commitment is lacking. If it's like remember Mike Tyson?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mike Tyson used to have this saying. He said, everybody has a plan until they get hit. And that's what happened with business owners. And I hate to go back to, because I'm currently in my EBA, my 5-day, one of the entrepreneurs made the comment, said, she was like, being an entrepreneur is a struggle. Yeah. And it really is. People think that you're getting into something that's all fun and games, but it's not. It is like having a child, if not worse, because there's a heavy commitment to it. There's demand on your time. You're being hit with these challenges hourly, weekly, and daily. And it takes discipline to say, okay, I'm not going to get distracted by the shiny object over here. This is my plan. This is what I'm committed to. Oh, I might need to tweak it a little bit, but who can I talk to tweak it? Well, I can talk to Jamila. She's a business expert. I can talk to her for an hour, and she can give me feedback. Hey, I need to talk to my accountant. Do I have the money to take on this contract? You know what? If I get into an agreement with the Black Business Network, what does that look like? I need an attorney to kind of look at that agreement. So you're right. You've got to commit to those. You've got to stay focused on those 3 things.
He say everyone has a plan until they get hit.
Yeah. We had seen that. I had an 8-day plan, Jamila. It didn't work. I got hit. I pivoted. I went from an 8-day to a 5-day because I looked at my audience, and my audience were entrepreneurs, and they just couldn't commit to 8 days. And so quickly, within 2 cohorts, I switched to a 5-day, and it made perfect sense, because you look at businesses, you're going to focus on business planning, understanding financials. You're going to talk about branding or target audience, sales, and then networking. So I could do that in 5 days. So each one of those 5 days, we went into one of the pillars, and then everything else was kind of like, periphery. I could add in, but I made sure that we focus on those 5.
Mm-hmm. Now, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who get hit and they say, oh my goodness, I just can't do this? Like you said, you pivoted. What in your mind said, I can pivot?
My customers. Your customers will tell you. And I think you can't be thin-skinned when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You've got to be honest with me in regards to feedback. And we do a survey at the beginning of our cohort and a survey at the end. And I read the feedback and then the comments of, okay, how we need to change. So you're right. After 2 cohorts, the drop-off was such that it said, you know what, 8 days is too much. And it was overwhelming for me because I was just starting. And so 5 days made perfect sense, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a Monday, Wednesday. So that was the feedback I got there. You also have to be very much in tune to market trends. For example, a year ago, we weren't doing AI. Now we spend a half day just talking to entrepreneurs through how to utilize AI, number one. Yeah. Number 2, how to utilize it in your business, right? And number 3, what is the future? What can you do with product development in regards to using AI? So you changed based on market trends. The other market trend that we changed and we pivoted to, and I brought it outside the organization, is acquisitions. We as a community, we're great with starting up and having ideas for business, but 6 out of 10 startups fail. Mm-hmm. They fail because they don't have capital. They just don't have the runway to make their businesses sustainable. But buying a business, Jamela, is a key. And my generation, the baby boomers, us with the gray hair, we're exiting our businesses. And I think there's roughly $10 trillion in market value businesses that are going to come up for sale over the next 5 to 10 years. Black businesses only represent $7 trillion. So you've got more market value businesses out there than we currently have. And it's a great opportunity for you, for example, if your background is healthcare, you can buy a healthcare business, and that business could be, I'll give you an example. There were 2 young gentlemen, 2 Black young gentlemen, I think between the ages of 25 and 30. And their goal is to become the next Reginald Lewis. They want to be $1 billion. And they wanted to start somewhere. So they found this opportunity, which was a wound care business. And it was in Melbourne, Florida, about 30 miles from where I live. And they purchased that business last year in September. Yes. In 24, Jamela, it did $2 million in revenue up until the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter alone, after they bought that business, it did $2 million. This year alone, they're going to do probably $6 million. Now, why did they do that? They're your age, so they bring in young ideas. Mm-hmm. They're also more aggressive in regards to their marketing. So not only are they marketing in Florida, but now they're looking to buy a business in Atlanta and then one in Phoenix. So now they got expansion. So when you buy a business, you buy not only the customers, but you buy the cash flow. So you're going to have a salary. You're going to have employees. You're going to have customers. You're going to have relationships. You're going to be making deposits in the bank on a daily basis, as opposed to bootstrapping, asking your mom and dad for funding, friends and family for funding, trying to get banks to loan you money. And the last thing that made sense for me was I was talking to TD Bank, and TD Bank says, Joe, 7 out of the 10 loans we make are for business acquisitions. Because of why? They're risk averse. They're not going to take a chance on a startup as opposed to established business that already has funds, and they know when they finance them that they're going to get paid back. They're not sure they're going to get paid back with the startup. So we as a community have to look outside just starting a business, but buying these very valuable businesses. And it's a way to kind of get back at 47.
That's awesome. A lot of people think I just got to do it all. But what you just said, acquisitions, you can buy a building that's building. You can buy a business that's already built and not have to do all of the excess work. It can already be done for you.
I mean, I'll use myself as an example, and then I'll be quiet. I worked for Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson was the acquisition of over 150 companies. I worked with Novartis Pharmaceutical. Novartis was the acquisition and merger of 7 different pharma companies. So as Reginald Lewis says, why should white guys have all the fun?
Why?
We have the ability. All we have to do is learn the process and go out and take action and do it, as opposed to, we've got to get away from these. I think the statistics show that, and this is coming from the Atlanta Black Chambers, that 60% of the businesses in Atlanta are doing less than $100,000 a year.
Wow.
And Atlanta's a star. When you look at Black capitalism, it is a star. So you look at those numbers, how can you change? I mean, I support people that are starting up because some of them will be successful. But my God, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And we've got to skin that cat both ways if we're going to change the dynamics of what's going on today.
Mm-hmm. We have to learn the process. That's what I heard you say.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Now, what key business principles from the pharmaceutical sector have proven most valuable in supporting early stage entrepreneurs?
Well, whenever a drug is developed, you have to look at the disease, correct?
Correct.
So when you're starting a business, Jamila, you have to look and say, is there a problem and does my product or idea solve that problem?
Mm.
So Novartis had a product called Latrell. Latrell was 2 medications in one. The problem is hypertension. The problem is people aren't taking 2 pills. The solution is I've got 2 pills in one. So I'm solving a problem. Mm-hmm. That's number one. So if you're starting a business, are you solving a problem? If you're not solving a problem, then don't think about starting that business. Idea number 2, who is your target audience? Okay. Who are you going to sell to? Latrell, as the example I just said, African Americans are on calcium channel blockers and an ACE. That was a target audience that we focused on. Who's going to pay for it? Medicare and Medicaid, because they're all over the age of 65. Easily identifiable. So your target audience is very much, you know who that target audience is, okay? Mm-hmm. So again, are you solving a problem, right? Is there a target audience? But the third ingredient, Jamila, is can you make money off of this idea? Let me repeat that again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make money off of this idea? If you can't make money off the idea, don't start the business. And then the last thing is, 2 more things that I wanted to say is, can you take the customers that you have and move them through a pipeline as your business expands?
Mm.
I want you to think about Amazon. You're shaking your head, right? You know what Amazon does?
Yes.
How did Amazon start?
Basic online ordering.
They started with used books.
Mm-hmm.
They took that audience of used books to online ordering, right? They took that audience from online ordering to Prime Video.
Mm-hmm.
They took that audience from Prime Video and online ordering to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
They took that audience from books, online ordering, Prime Video, Whole Foods, to now they're doing medications and healthcare. Mm-hmm. So they never had to expand their audience. They could take that same audience, lock them in, and pull them through a pipeline. And guess what? They stay there. They're not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, the solution, the target audience doesn't make money. That's what we have to think about as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Can I take that audience? As my business grows, can I take that audience and move them through as my business grows? Or will I lose them and have to bring in another audience? It takes too long to kind of educate your audience to that know, like, and trust, as opposed to those that started with you to where they're at now.
Wow. I hope somebody has a pen and paper and they wrote those 5 things down, because you have to be able to pivot. You got to be an innovator.
Yep.
In order to take your target audience through that pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we've done at CMET. Yeah. You know, I'm now at a point where over 200 entrepreneurs have gone through 26 cohorts. Mm-hmm. And now I'm in a situation where I've got a clear pathway for the entrepreneurs. They start at my 5-day. They go into a growth accelerator program, which is a 6-month program. And now I'm starting a mastermind group. Mm-hmm. So I can take the entrepreneurs that start out with me on a Monday all the way to a year or 2 years from now, when they're now driving $1 million in revenue.
Amazing. Now, how do you define micro entrepreneurship, and why is it so critical in today's economic climate?
Well, any business that's doing less than 100,000 is a micro business. Okay. And so for the businesses that are starting out, you're starting out as a micro entrepreneur. And your goal is to stair step. So you go from 50 to 100, 100 to 250, 250 to 5, 5 to $1 million. And as I just got through saying, you got to have a process in place to move them along that pendulum. So you've got to have a program for those that are just starting out. You've got to have a program that are now moving to sustainability and scale. And then for those that are scaled, what do you do with those entrepreneurs? So they either are in my EBA, my Entrepreneurial Business Accelerator, or they're in my Growth Accelerator program, or they're in a mastermind group where a group of 8 to 12 sit around a table and they talk about how can they build their businesses to $5 to $10 million. What problems and challenges do they have as $1 million businesses? And how can we coach them to 10 million and plus?
Now, what are the most common blind spots you see in first-time business owners?
They don't understand. They can't clearly define their target audience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've heard it. You've heard entrepreneurs talk to you and say, you know what, we sell to everybody.
Yep.
And Jamila, I always give them the analogy of, and this is something one of my first managers told me in regards to pharma. And I was trying to get out, okay, why do we have tier 1s, tier 2s, and tier 3s? And so you've seen the Animal Kingdom films, right? And you see how a lion or a jaguar or a leopard hunts in a pack.
Yeah.
They zero in on one wildebeest. Everything can be chaos around them. They never lose focus of that target.
No.
And you as an entrepreneur have to be that laser focus. I need to be able to tell you what my target audience is.
Yeah.
And like your prior speaker said, you need to be concise and descriptive so that image is implanted in your mind. So again, as we started the conversation, you can say, if you meet somebody at a cocktail party and say, you know what, I'm thinking about starting a business. First thing that comes to your mind, Joe Simmons was on the Black Business Network. You should connect with his organization. They do a great job in training.
Now,
as opposed to going, I know I heard about it from somebody. Who can I send you to? Then you don't have a clear understanding of my target audience.
Now, what advice would you give to the entrepreneurs out there to find their target audience? How do you do it?
Well, there's this new invention that's been around for 30 years called artificial intelligence. And we as a people have to use technology to aid us in our business ventures. For example, you can use Perplexity AI, Claude AI, Gemini, ChatGPT, all to help you in regards to your business. If you trust that bot, you can trust it to develop your strategy, your business plan, do research on your target audience, your messaging to that target audience, what kind of brochure, what platform should I be on, all by using technology. You can employ, bots to do your accounting. They can do your marketing. They can do your email. So then you become efficient. So number one, you utilize technology to be sharper, faster, and be able to build your business better. But you can't sit in your chair. You can't look at it. You've got to get in and do it. And AI, someone once, I think one of your presenters, the last time I was on, Maurice Butler said this: more millionaires will be created by AI than any other industry over the next 10 years. Let that sink in for a minute. More millionaires will be created due to AI than any other industry in the next 10 years. And again, are we going to be by the train station, watch that train leave the tracks, go down and create millionaires? Or are we going to be on that train creating millionaires? So we've got to change our mindset. We can't be scared of technology. But the other thing that, Jamila, that I've noticed is that we've got to learn the language of business.
Yeah.
Business is like, you've got English, Spanish, Mandarin, Chinese, Korean, but business is its own language. You've got to know what EBITDA is. You got to understand cash flow. When you're in conversation with business people, they're not talking about what's on YouTube or TikTok. They're talking about their numbers, what their business is doing in regards to gaining market share. What can they do to finance their business, to scale their businesses? So our whole attitude in regards to business has to change. We've got to understand that language and be able to take it and be able to utilize it to grow our businesses.
There's that word again, learn.
Yeah.
We got to learn the process. We got to learn the background of the business.
But it means changing behaviors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Black Business Network does a great job in regards to education and learning, but there's things that are free. I mean, I watch CNBC in the morning. It's a free channel.
Yeah.
You can download a podcast of the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Harvard Business Review, Forbes, Fortune, and you learn the language. You learn market trends. You know, we can't be caught up in T-shirts and essential oils. They're not going to get us to where we go. We've got to be on that AI train. How can I develop something in AI that will make me a millionaire?
Now, what leadership traits carried over from Pharma to your nonprofit work, and which ones have evolved?
I guess what I learned from Pharma is in leadership is vision. The other thing I learned very quickly is momentum. And the other thing is voice. You know, you've got to have vision. I've got to be able to, when I talk to my funders or when I talk to a group, I've got to be able to tell them the vision of CMED. What do I see us as an organization? What can I describe of where we want to go and the goals that we want to achieve? I've got to have momentum. Momentum is so critical in business that, you know, we've had momentum because we keep evolving and we keep addressing some of the trends that are in business. So it keeps my funders happy. I can get, you know, funding for different ideas. And the other thing is my voice. You know, people have got to resonate and say, you know what, we buy what you're selling. You know, we understand the problem that you see. You understand the process and the promise. So like your prior speaker said, those three things, and then understanding what's in it for them.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has an agenda, you know, whether it's a bank, credit union, corporations, whoever I'm working with, you have to quickly understand what is their agenda and how do I meet that agenda?
Voice, your voice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, one of the things that entrepreneurs have to learn, especially female entrepreneurs, is that you're the lead singer. You know, everybody else is behind you playing, but you're the lead singer. You're the person that's out front. And the speaker that you had on before, you know, that should be put on YouTube and sent out to future entrepreneur or present entrepreneurs, because she's right. You've got to be able to attract attention within 6 seconds of what you're saying and be able to gain their attention and have them buy into what you're doing. So being able to talk very comfortably on a platform like this, being able to go into a room and be able to get into groups and talk and meet different people at different points in their business, that is so critical to the success of any venture that you have.
Now, what legacy do you hope the Center for Micro Entrepreneurial Training leaves in Orlando and beyond?
One of the things I've noticed is that we're invisible when it comes to the business community. So my goal is to have visibility within the business community. I want to see Black businesses be million, 10, $100 billion businesses. My goal is for Black folks to have their own business network like CNBC and show that people of color, not only are they consumers, but they're also producers. They can build businesses that change generations. I want us to really, truly understand what Black Wall Street was. Black Wall Street was not solo entrepreneurs. These were scaled businesses that were doing business with each other. When you look at us being the highest consumer, why can't we not have a Black Amazon? Why can't we not have a Black Google? Why can we not be, you know, treated? Why can't our communities look like the best communities out there, where you're going to have the best teachers, the best doctors, the best healthcare, all the access that you need in our community?
That's amazing. I have gotten maybe 3 sheets of notes. I was writing while you was talking. I know you didn't see me. Can you real quick tell everyone how to get in touch with you or how to get in one of your programs?
Sure. Our website is tcmet.org. You can go there to register for our next cohort, which starts on October 27th. You can also go to our landing page, tcmet/October 2025, for the Entrepreneurship Through Acquisition workshop on October 9th. We're also on YouTube and Facebook, the Center for Micro Entrepreneur Training on both.
Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, Jamila.
The Black Business Expo mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App. That's $BBXUSA. Once again, that's $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors. That's NC-100, Suede Soul, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporation, Genius is Coming, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Black Business Olympics, Artistic App Design, Banks Law Firm, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions to what I do. art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.
Are you a forward-thinking entrepreneur or business owner? The world is changing faster than ever, and it's time to pivot and adapt to the future. Hello LLC is here to help you do just that. Hello stands for helping enterprises leverage leading-edge optimizations. Our innovative solutions can streamline operations, reduce overhead costs, and give you a competitive edge in a market projected to reach $5 trillion by 2030. By pivoting to the metaverse, businesses can tap into a rapidly growing market that is projected to be a significant part of daily life for 25% of Americans by 2026. As a full digital metaverse agency, the Hello LLC can help you create custom solutions to streamline operations, increase productivity, reduce costs, and drive brand recognition.
Black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson-Milton.
My favorite question to ask, but what would you say is the difference between working in your business versus working on your business?
Oh my goodness, it's a mindset for sure. And prior to working with the council and working with you, I don't even know that I placed as much emphasis and importance on it. But now I understand the importance of working on the business, which is that business development, strategic planning, taking that 30,000 foot view, every 6 months and definitely at least once a year to find out what's working well, what's not, pivoting if there's a need to pivot, adding new verticals. Like that's working on the business. Working in the business is the day-to-day operations.
Putting out fires in the day-to-day, responding to emails, that type of thing. And working on the business is setting a strategy based on, what's going on in your various industries. What are the trends, and making sure that you are doing the steps to stay in front of those trends.
As you grow and as you evolve. I'd say there are a couple of things to that. One is, if you are in the weeds every single day, and quite frankly, when you start a business, there's not a lot of, it's hard not to be, right? Because you're probably small when you start. There are probably not enough resources for the things that you have to do. That's normal. But as you grow and as you evolve, you start to understand that if your view is here, then you cannot gain the perspective to see all of the interrelationships and all of the opportunities and all of the strategic maneuvers that you should be doing in order to take grow your business in step functions as opposed to incremental.
Well, working in the business is doing everything. You wear all the many hats. Working on the business is finding out what hat you like and then being able to put in processes, systems, people that will help complement your skills.
Chasing the dollars, trying to make sure payroll is done. You have enough work to cover payroll and $2 or $3 in your pocket. The next thing you know, year after year, you're in a rat race. You've never been trained to develop your business or to take it to another level?
As long as I can focus on where we are going, because no one else is doing that in the company except for me. So if I can see, here's where we're going, and I need all y'all, all 10 of y'all to come with me, then if we all do that together, then the business grows because everyone is focused on the thing they're supposed to be focused on.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of business owners, particularly when you're just getting started, you're wearing multiple hats. I tell people all the time, I was always letter E, all of the above, when we used to fill in those multiple choice tests. And, you know, even now I still do a lot, but what is really great is that right now I'm in Richmond. My team back in Raleigh is handling everything. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to check that email because I know that they can take on whatever is being thrown at them.
Take time to slow down in order to speed up. Invest in CVM SDC developmental programs each year to grow your business. Working in equals maintaining. Working on equals growth. Visit cvmsdc.org for more information on our development programs. Email us at info@cvmsdc.org.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America. And my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into to what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment, a perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters, and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, "I want to learn more." Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.
I stopped.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Ravina Amos, and I am your business moderator for this season of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Today, we have with us Dr. Tina Ramsey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Tina Ramsey is a 4-time best-selling international author, inspirational speaker, actress, and CEO of the CTR Media Network, an innovative entertainment streaming podcast and TV network. With over a decade of experience in media, multiple certifications, 2 honorary doctorates, and as a KBB University Business School graduate, she empowers podcasters and entrepreneurs to build credibility, create impact, and generate income through media and podcasting, reaching millions of households. More than 500 episodes and 1,500 videos under her belt, she has been a content creator since 2013, firmly establishing herself as a pioneer in the podcast media industry. Dr. Ramsey has empowered countless content creators, podcasters, and streaming TV professionals to achieve entrepreneurial success. As a podcast and TV distribution coach, she guides individuals in leveraging their platforms effectively and maximizing their reach and input. Dr. Ramsey's visionary leadership, CTR Media Network integrates the power of AI and independent content creation into podcasting and entrepreneurship, providing innovative solutions that enable creators to expand their influence and connect with diverse university. And beyond a professional achievement, Dr. Ramsey is a dedicated wife, mother, community leader, and media leverage coach, renowned for her global impact in empowering others. Welcome, 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 Dr. Tina Ramsey.
Our Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
I can't hear you.
There you go. Thank you. I'm fine, Nubian Queen. How are you?
I'm great. How about you? You've been doing so good with this moderation. I'm
doing my best.
I'm sitting there saying, oh my girl.
See, I got to live up to Dr. Kelly's standards, you know.
But you're doing great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
I feel the same way about you and to be on this platform. So thank you, Dr. Eric, Dr. Kelly.
Now we're going to jump right into the business side of this. What inspired you to merge business and education as a focal point in your career?
Well, to me, it just makes sense. When you think about education, is just basically the foundation of entrepreneurship. And once you figure out how to merge the two together to be able to provide a entrepreneurship or a business structure around educating people and then turning around and make it a business. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. So I can't see not being an educator in entrepreneurship. I can't even see it without it being that way.
Okay. So how do you believe podcasting can be a powerful tool for entrepreneurships and educators?
The reason why I feel like podcasting is a powerful tool is because of its accessibility.
Okay.
It's very accessible. It's something that can merge the gap between any type of income. It doesn't matter if you're low income, high income. It doesn't matter if you are well educated or not.
Right.
Who do not have a cell phone. And so it's able to connect, it's able to distribute, it's able to inspire and motivate people to change right in the palm of their hands. And so that's why I feel that podcasting is just one of those things that allow you to make that global reach, that global impact. And for business owners who are looking to advertise, it just makes sense from the economic standpoint that you can continuously advertise yourself over and over and over again, and also offer that same opportunity to other people as well.
Now, what strategies do you recommend for entrepreneurship who want to build ability in industry?
First of all, you have to be consistent. I did not say perfect. I said consistent. You are consistent in showing up, even when it's not easy to show up. That builds credibility in itself. Then you have to establish yourself where the people are. They're on social media. They also at events. You go and speak on virtual like I'm doing today. You also have books. You need to establish yourself in written and digital form so people can basically create the story about you. And so when you master the art of visibility, it actually helps you, because now people can go and Google you. People can look you up, and it builds that trust and credibility.
Okay, so you're saying the media plays a prominent role in business reach and education and educating your target audience?
Of course, because when you think about it, look what we're doing right now. We're streaming online. That is up under the umbrella of media. And so this is a quicker, faster way for your audience, for other audience to get to know me. And it also make it a more personable thing where people feel like they already know you because they actually heard you on the podcast. They saw you interviewing like that. Now I feel like I know you, and I just laid eyes on you today, but I heard you speak and I was like, I connect with her spirit. So it's just a really, really good way for us as entrepreneurs to be able to get in front of people, to express our mission and be able to make a greater impact quicker.
Right. Now, what advice would you give to a small business owner who wants to start creating educational content as you have?
Well, I would say this: make it entertaining. It has to be a blend of education and entertainment. That's why CTR Media Network is a blend of it. Because even though you know that you have great information, but people have stressful days, even children. And how can you deliver this content in a way that will make it easy for them to learn, not feeling like you talking over their head, and make it accessible and make them feel motivated at the same time? So having a good blend of it being educational, but yet entertaining, I would say use that. Because I mean, listen, at the end of the day, people like to laugh, but also they want to learn. So make it, don't be boring. In other words, don't be boring. And that is what you can do. And also get other tools. Like you can use StreamYard in order for you, if you're not a techie person, you can use StreamYard in order to record your information. You can go and get on Spotify for creators and then upload your content so that it can get, you can have a wider audience. So I feel like every entrepreneur has sort of myth and also to us, so use them.
So how can businesses effectively use storytelling to build connections and grow their brands?
Who don't love a good story? Storytelling is the art of being able to take a person on an emotional ride that leads to the destination that you want them to go. So even if you have a story that's trauma in it, you can start from the trauma, but I tell people to be responsible with when you're dispensing this. Don't take people on a roller coaster ride on emotions and don't give them some hope at the end.
Right.
Think about, yes, I went through this, but look at what happen next, overcome. And if you're the one providing the solution, then guess what? They're coming to you because now they feel comfortable. Now they trust you. Now you have credibility. And guess what? You just living life through the lenses of theirs. And if you are at a different level than them, being able to help them see that they too can overcome, they too can achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve.
Okay. So how have your experiences shaped?
Well, when you say, how do it shape me as a leader? I laugh because other people say, you're a leader. But to me,
absolutely.
But to me, I'm just a person that is on a mission. I know my assignment from God. I call myself a messenger. Yes, I'm just delivering the message. Came to me, I made a plan. I'm being obedient to what God wants me to do. And so I just happen to be labeled as a leader. But how it actually helped me, podcasting helped me a lot, because when I first started podcasting years ago, I did not start podcasting as a means of being an impact, in a means of starting a business. I started because I needed an outlet. I needed some place where I could share how I was feeling as a mom, as a wife, being a mom with experience of having a special needs child, also being a mom that has a child that is in the top 4% of the most gifted kids in the county, and then also turning around, being a young mother that had a stroke, went to sleep one night, had a stroke, woke up and was partially paralyzed from the waist down, and had amnesia. And totally forgot that I had my daughter, because anything within that year, I couldn't remember, and trying to come with grips of reality. So it was just basically therapeutic for me, because I didn't want to go to a therapist, because I didn't want people to think that I was crazy. Because in our culture, they be like, you going to a therapist? What's wrong?
That's stigma, it's damaged many people. Yes,
I don't feel like that now. I'll go, but I'm just saying at that time, that was my mindset at that time. But so I just simply did it to be able to do a dump.
That's therapeutic.
So that I can get over it, so that I can come back and be the wife, be the mother, be the leader, to do what I needed to do. I just needed an escape. And that's why I initially started podcasting.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing, because that could be somebody else's saving grace. Now, what advice would you give, and I'm getting a little bit off the sheet here, but what advice would you give those who are thinking about starting a podcast, but they don't even know how to begin or where to start?
Well, that's easy.
Okay.
I just put out a course for absolutely free. They can watch on CTR Media Network, where I'm actually showing them from scratch, real time on the video, how to start the podcast real time, showing them on Spotify for creators, because it's a free platform.
Right.
And so I'm showing them how to do it. So I would tell a person, the only thing that is stopping you from starting a podcast is you. Drop all the excuses. I don't have the right lighting. I don't have the right mic. I don't have something to say. I don't have a script. Nobody don't want to hear my voice, my story. I don't like the way I look. Listen, no. Stop it. Stop the excuses, because I'm here to tell you that there are a group of people on this earth today that will not move unless they hear your voice.
Right.
And it's very selfish on your behalf to not do the podcast because of some type of insecurity with you. You have to get out of your own way, and you need to go ahead and push forward. And I guarantee the words will come out. Do not get sucked into the mindset of being perfection. Just go ahead, work with what you have. Everything will come in time. When I started, I did not have a mic, didn't even know how to even buy the proper mic. I used my cell phone. And guess what? Spotify and iHeartRadio, during the time where they weren't even letting podcasts on platforms like that, they reached out to me and said, we absolutely love your show. We would like to put it on Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah, that was when Spotify was completely music only, no podcast.
Right.
And then it was like, iHeart said, oh, we love your podcast. Can we put your podcast up? I'm like, yeah, right. iHeartRadio deal with radio hosts. I came from the radio world, I know. And Spotify, it's just music. So I thought it was a scam. But guess what? It was for real. It was true. And I was doing my podcast from my cell phone in my bedroom, sitting in the lazy boy, setting up me some little ambiance with a little candle and trying to get my little radio voice on, speaking. And it was good enough just the way it was.
Right.
So just go ahead and start. You'll get better. You can fine tune it as you go.
So your podcast really started without guests, just you speaking. Okay, I understand.
It was just me, solo. I would tell people I was solo dolo, no guests. Didn't even come to my mind that I should interview anyone. I mean, literally, when I started my podcast, it was only me for 2 years. And I did not even think anybody would even want to come on my show until they start watching. They was all watching. And then someone said, I would love to be a guest on your show. And I was like, do I do that? And then I prayed to God, I'm like, should I do that? Is this you telling me I need to start having guests? And that's when I started having guests on my show. But it was 2 years later. People came just to listen to me. So you're good enough just doing a solo show. You don't have to have guests, okay? You're your first guest.
But you are definitely a leader, honey, because you inspired me. I'm ready to go start my podcast. I got something to say. Let me go start mine. Okay. Now, in your opinion, what makes media and education such a powerful combination for driving social and economic change?
Think about it. Look what we're doing today. This network, the Black Business Network, right now is putting out the call to showcase and spotlight Black-owned businesses where we don't usually get enough positive light on our businesses, pulling us all together from all over the world. Look how powerful that is. And then your initiative is to bring together all of us so that we can support the scholarship program to help pay it forward, to help high school children be able to get scholarship money. You're doing it through the power of media. You could have written a letter, but do people really use letters and stamps like they used to? Some children don't even know what a stamp is, okay?
I know.
So, listen, they know what media is. They don't. And so the thing is, they know what social media is. So you have to tap into what the people are using and what they're comfortable with if you want to make an initiative and a positive impact that will surpass your lifespan. People will be able to see this even after we're no longer here and can see the movement that's happening right now. And that in itself is powerful because we are, in essence, creating our digital legacy right now.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, what role does community engagement play?
Important, because just as we as entrepreneurs need the community to support what we're doing, we also need the community. Once we listen to the things that you need, we need you to come in and support. Because if we tell them, hey, we need X amount of dollars in order to do this scholarship, give out these many computers, or be able to provide media coverage for these many amazing business owners, it has to still be paid for. And so if someone patronized that part of our business, and we create these programs that you said you wanted community and you don't show up, it's telling the investors, it's telling the grantors, it's telling the people who donated that there's no need. So we have to make sure our words and our actions match. So that we can continuously get the help, get the funding that we need in order to keep making an impact in the community, whether it's dealing with education, whether it's dealing with media, whether it's just dealing with putting a plate of food on the table for the day. But we need, both sides have to show up. There's no way that we have to equally show up in order for the impact to be great.
Okay. Now you mentioned earlier that that you did a free web class on how to start your podcast. Can you give us some more information on that for those who, because we went kind of fast through that. Can we tell them how to do that?
Okay, sure. So we actually have our own app. We, like we said, or in the beginning, whichever part the person come in, because I always say different people pop in.
Right.
We actually have our own TV and podcast distribution platform. And so you can just go download our app. You can watch us just like on this platform, all over on Amazon, Roku, and all the different places. But you go in your phone and you search CTR Media Network, download our app, and then when you download the app, you scroll down to events and webinars, and you will see that free course on how to start a podcast from scratch on Spotify. And I'm literally walking you through starting a podcast real time. You can literally go there today, watch the video, and have a podcast this evening, like for free. And listen, I'll be honest, I'll be totally 100. I usually charge a good little fee to do all of that. And it's in my best-selling #1 book. But God told me this is the year for all of us to thrive. And free. This is our year. And
I got the same message, but I'm going to move on. Okay.
No excuses. You're going to thrive. We're going to thrive this year. We're going to thrive. I don't care what's going on around us, what you seeing around. That's the live. We're going to thrive. Everybody with Kingdom of Life.
Yes, it
That's
is.
it.
All
Okay,
right.
started it, girl.
No, I'm not. I'm going to, Dr. Kelly going to fire us both. How can parents and educators prepare students to develop entrepreneur mindset?
Well, the thing is, we have to expose the children to entrepreneurship and expose it in a way that is fun, that's engaging, that shows them that they can actually do it. And so one thing that I see that I didn't even have in the beginning that was really difficult for me was financial literacy. Of course, I knew how to pay bills, go work, and be able to get a paycheck and disperse, do the basic. But really, how do you invest? How do you really do payroll properly, making sure that you have enough income coming in to pay your employees or your independent contractors? We have to have these financial conversations with our children to prepare them early, because if we don't, it's not going to erase it. They're going to have to deal with it. The thing is, we want them to be prepared. Okay. And I wasn't prepared in many ways. And I feel like that is something that we definitely have to do. And also we have to expose them to how they can utilize all of this media in a positive, productive way that can create an impact and income at the same time. So they won't be totally dependent on everyone else, but they can also create something that they're proud of, create their own legacy, because Lord knows they come out of the womb knowing how to work this electronic. I mean, young people. So why not use that ingenuity and give them something to do that is productive, that can actually sustain their life? So let's go ahead and get it done.
Absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you. Preparation plus opportunity equals success when they meet together. Yeah.
Right.
So how can parents and educators, while they're preparing them, what are some of the, let me see, I want to say this. What are some of the innovative ways that you've seen education being used to empower the underprivileged communities?
Some innovative ways that I have seen that I also have used myself is podcasting. A lot of schools and universities are now using podcasting and media streaming like we're doing now in order to connect their faculty to the teachers and also connect the students with the teachers and the parents and also the children with other children in order to help with homework. So right now AI is on the rage. And in the educational realm, people have mixed feelings about AI, but I want you to really think about this. The world is different. You need to embrace it.
Absolutely.
Because the children that are now, they're going to be left in the world that is going to be totally AI. And if you are so against AI that you're not even willing to learn, you're doing a great disservice for yourself and the children, because it's going to happen regardless if you want it to happen or not. And so the best thing is for us to be able to be innovative, learn how we can use AI to make our lives better as entrepreneurs, as educators, as students. Use it as a tutor to be able to teach you things that you may not normally have access to. So in underprivileged communities, one thing is that they don't usually have access or cannot afford to pay for tutors. There are multiple different AI-driven software, even down with reading. There are a lot of children now that have a deficiency in reading. Did you know that there are apps like Speechify that was created to actually read your emails, to actually read out your books and your everything that you're doing for you? Because it's not that these children that has dyslexia can't learn, it's that they have a trouble with reading and maybe comprehension. But if they can hear it and they can see it and track it, they'll be able to filter in the education or the information to stick better. So we need to figure out ways that we can embrace this AI in education as well as in entrepreneurship to make the everyday running of our businesses easier, and also the everyday running of education and being able to bridge the gap of not being able to have access to certain things just because you happen to live in the projects. Listen, I was raised in the projects back in the day, so I have been in both. I wasn't always in the suburbs, okay? And so that's one thing that I see, and I feel that we all need to see and just start embracing this AI and use it to the fact that it can actually make our lives easier. And I feel like once we do that, I mean, who can stop us then? Like, really, who can stop us? We need to embrace it. So that's how I feel about education. I don't know what happened, but listen, we can keep on going. So I see there's a lot of comments. Okay, I didn't know whether or not you went out or whatever.
No, I'm here. I'm always here. I'm always here, whether you see me or not. And I'm with you on that, because, you know, growing up for us, I think for me particularly, I know moving into the projects would have been a step up. You know what I'm saying? So,
my grandmother, she was in the projects, and, you know, I spent a lot of time there. So I say I was raised there. When she finally moved away, you know, moved out her mother's home, because we had a farm, a family farm. And then once she got on her own, you know, she moved her children out, because, you know, back in the day, families lived together.
Right.
Back in the day.
Right.
And so after she finally moved out her own, she was able to get, you know, a place in the projects, and we was like, yeah, you know, it was like happy, you know, and then realizing that wasn't really like, you know, but long story short, you can. I'm glad I have that experience, because I know how it is on both sides of the coin. I was able to experience that, and now I know how it feels to be this way. But and it also humbles me to never forget. Because even though I'm here now, I want to make sure that you, at least have access to the things that I didn't even know that existed, or be able to create something that be able to give those children or those parents support at the end of the day. At the end of the day,
Yes, thank you. Now, we were talking about the education, and I want to tap a little bit about how does homeschooling fit into that dynamic?
Homeschooling provides freedom and flexibility.
Okay.
And so based upon the state that you're in, it has different requirements that we have to abide by based upon your state. So once you do whatever is required by law for your particular state, then you have flexibility to be able to teach. Like for me, I am a mom because we graduated last year.
Woo,
and this and this was a child that they said will never be able to be social, will never graduate. He had, developmental delay. They said autism, and they said he'll never, ever, never, ever. And so we took that list of never, ever and turned into the list that he can in all things with God's help and his glory. And he was able to do things. We had to do it a different way, but he was still able to graduate. And so I would say that homeschooling provides you the avenue where we were speaking about financial literacy. You can teach your children financial literacy as part of their math curriculum. You can take them to be exposed and put them in media classes as part of their fine arts. You can go and find scholarships to be able to let them have access to things that they normally wouldn't have access to, or be able to have the opportunity to take had they not been homeschooled. Homeschool opened up my children being able to take scholarship courses with coding at the age of 7 years old. It opened up them being able to take a financial literacy camp. I mean, these children than I did had to learn after I was already a married adult, And so I feel like homeschooling is just that avenue where it opens up. And homeschooling for me was not just homeschooling. I found out a lot about myself, learned a lot as we was learning and growing together. So I feel like more children and more families should actually consider it, or even hybrid learning, where you're partly at school and then some you're at home. I feel like they should explore it in some ways, especially if public school is not working for your child. If it's not working, why not give it a try? You don't have to do it by yourself. We have tutors, teachers that can teach them virtually. We have where they can do public homeschool at home, where they're getting taught by public school, but they're doing it in the comfort of their homes. We have homeschooling co-ops. I mean, we have so many options now to it's ridiculous. You can literally find exactly what you're looking for. You just have to have the courage to try it out.
Okay. Yeah. So what tips can you share for entrepreneurs looking to partner with educators and educational institutions?
I would say, make sure that you understand their initiative and their mission. Just don't join someone's opportunity or their business just because you see that they have a large network. Okay, what else do they have that you feel that you can actually be a win-win situation? You're helping them and they're helping you. Can you really? I do not collaborate with anyone's business on a collaborative affiliated type of situation unless I can see their vision. Because I take that very seriously. If I can't see your vision, if I can't understand that, how am I going to articulate your business in the best professional way in order to attract people to your business if I don't even understand it? And so you got to be so good when you collaborate with businesses that you're talking about it so well that people think you the CEO of the business.
Right.
Because that's how much you believe in their mission. That's how much you believe in their cause. That's how much you want them to succeed. And so I'll tell you, do your research. Understand their mission. Volunteer with them first to see, do you really like it? Do your research. Just don't join for frivolous reasons. Join because you really care and you really feel that whatever it is that you're doing can actually help them get closer to their goal. And in essence, they can help you. I don't do anything if it's not a win-win situation, because I believe that everyone to the table should be able to get something from your exchange or interaction.
Yeah. understand. Thank you. So what do you see as the future of education, and how can business leaders be a part of that transformation?
The future is hybrid, just like I said before. And it's for education, and this is the same for entrepreneurship.
Okay.
It's the same for college. If you pay attention, we have hybrid schools. Yeah, they have a campus, but also you can do virtual learning. So you need to make sure, in order to succeed as an entrepreneur, that whatever you're doing has the potential to be hybrid, where you can have virtual events and in-person events. You can have staff that may not be in your country and staff that is in your country. You need to make sure that if it's education, they need to have in-person and also online. So because that way you will not cut off any demographic, any type of learner or person, because they cannot get in the car and be able to drive. And that also overshadow, or I would say it will also help, because some people do not have transportation, but they have a need. So how are you going to be able to make an impact if you only have a building where people can come?
Brick and mortar.
How are you going to make with that? And also being virtual, it actually cut down your overall overhead costs. So I mean, it's a good business move to have online as well. You can cut your pricing and your structure in half. And you can still provide the same value, if not more. The same experience, other than you just can't touch them. So I feel like the world is hybrid. And the more that we understand that, the more we embrace it, the more we start learning and jumping off the little ledge a little bit and start trying the technology, the better that we will be.
So I'm gonna have one more question for you here. We're gonna go back to the podcast real quick. What advice would you tell somebody? What is the mindset that they have to be in before they should even start their podcast?
They have to have the growth mindset. For those of you that do not know what a growth mindset is, that you are not seeking perfection, but you're seeking to learn and grow. Understanding that you're not going to have all the answers all the time, giving yourself the grace and flexibility to know that everything is not going to be perfect. But the key is that you need to show up, and you need to be consistent, and you need to be confident enough to be vulnerable, to share when you just don't know anything. Don't go out there saying, oh, I know everything. No. Nobody knows everything. I don't care how many degrees or whatever I got. I don't know everything. Let people know so they can really connect with you authentically. And basically that in a nutshell, you just have to be willing to know that you will fail sometime. But some of the moments where I failed the most, where I feel like why me, woe is me situation, was the moments that built that resilience, that knowledge, that information, that had I not failed first, I would not be who I am today. I learned more from that than any time when I came in and automatically won or got that accolade. So you learn how to be strong. You learn how to push forward. And so look at failure as an opportunity to grow.
Yes. Like I think it was Nelson Mandela that said, I don't lose, I learn.
You got that right.
Absolutely.
You have that right. So I feel like we look at if we don't get something right the first time as something bad. It's a challenge. It's an obstacle. Well, maybe so. But did you know that actually works out your faith? And it actually works out your business structure to be stronger, because now you have this information that's not in a book, that you had to experience. That you can go teach somebody else how to solve a problem now. Now you just develop the blueprint to what 100 other people is looking for the answer for, that just builds you a ready to go stability, profitability map, where you can literally rinse and repeat that solution over and over to different people. And you just created a stream of income that is scalable and sustainable. That is what obstacles and challenges and failing forward creates for you. You think I just put it out like this? I failed twice, lost everything twice before I got it right with CTR Media Network, baby. I tell people like, it wasn't easy. It's still not easy. And I tell people, oh, so you want the glory, but you don't want to go through have your story.
Faith without the word. It's there.
You have to go through it. You can't take the escalator to life. You have to take the stairs, one step at a time. And that's how you learn, build, and grow.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you. You will hear from me again. I love everything you put out. I'm going to go and I'm going to ctrmedia.net. I will be there watching the podcast, watching the thing. I'm going to set up my
ctrmedianetwork.com.
Yes, ctrmedianetwork.com. Okay, I was trying to write real quickly. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, everybody. ctrmedianetwork.com. We have Dr. Tina Ramsey. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure too. Oh, I'm seeing all the people comment. Hey guys.